Rayman 1. So I guess whenever you are ready, Spike, we will start on your go.
Yeah, for sure. While I do enjoy the Zelda music, do we have any audio on Rayman yet? Oh, here we are. Yep, we got it. Okay. All right. So we're ready on the countdown? We are going in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So hopefully I put it on fastest speed. Sure. Yeah, that looks like fastest speed. So just so you guys know, I am going to get world record in Rayman 1 today because my good friend Gulo2 was nice enough to provide a 90,000K model of the PS2. It's pretty standard for PlayStation 1 games to get run on the PS2 on fastest speed just because it's relatively easy access to PlayStation 2s these days. I'm sure many more households. I mean, PS2's the highest selling console of all time, so whatever.
Only the best for you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man. So yeah, this is Rayman 1. This is the first game in the series, and as the first game in the series, they are starting you off with bare bones. All Rayman can do is I can walk. I can just walk, not even run yet. I can walk, I can jump. Let me make sure I get this. Hey, let's be a little safe there. Don't want to jump into the water for my first death 3 seconds in. You can walk, you can jump, and you can taunt. I'll show taunting at some point when I don't have to move for a little bit. But yeah, taunting, all it will do for you is it will scare certain enemies, which is not very useful in a speedrun for going fast. But yeah, we just received our first of 5 power-ups throughout the game, and that is to punch. Yeah, so literally the first thing Rayman had to be taught was how to throw his fist in front of his face. We're going to need all these power-ups eventually because in order to beat this game, you need to break, that is one of 102 cages throughout the game. There are 102 of them. They're like, you think about like a Mario 64. Oh, there are 120 stars. You only have to get 70 of them. Banjo-Kazooie, you only had to get like 94 out of 100 Jiggies. You need all 102 here to beat the game, and that's for a lot of people. I've always heard this as like one of the hardest PS1 titles, and that's the #1 reason. And it's not just because you have to find all of them. That would be hard enough, but they actually hide them really well. As much as it doesn't seem like it from the first 3 I've collected here that are literally in front of my face, a lot of them you will notice there's a mechanic in this game where as you touch these arbitrary invisible points on the screen, it will spawn those cages. It will also spawn platforms to get to cages. It will spawn enemies, lots of crazy stuff. Little technique right there. I waited till the last possible instant to punch that plum to make it swing up so that I could also catch getting on it with Rayman. Coming over here is actually one of the tightest jumps in the game. I got it. I missed the cage on the way over. We had to turn around for it. That's fine. That's fine. We got the hard thing. That's like a 2-pixel jump. All right, good deal.
Shout out to this game being stupidly precise at times.
It's actually, yeah, so it might look like a relatively straightforward run. There's a lot of these jumps that are just incredibly precise that you wouldn't know unless you play it yourself. But a lot of people do know this as a very difficult game, as I brought up earlier. So right here with this boss fight, I have to hit him 5 times, as you can tell on his health. The reason why I'm waiting till certain points to hit him is because, as you can see, as you hit him, he slowly moves up to that top center portion of the screen. So I want to hit him as close to that as possible. So like right there, he'll always juke you, so you want to make sure you get literally right on top of him before you punch him. Also, just once again, shout-outs to these load times, because they are insane on the 90K model. It's kind of a dumb aspect about speedrunning that I talked to Caveman, who's a classic PlayStation 1 runner as well, and he said pretty much just you should just remove load times from all disc-based games and speedrunning, but it's whatever. So here we are in the first auto-scroller of the run. So you might think, okay, auto-scroller, there's no way to speed this up. There actually are ways to speed this up and slow it down. You'll notice that there are different speeds that the screen will scroll at. You see it just slowed down a lot, and that's because I hit a trigger that slowed it back down. Well, I'm actually going to use the technique by moving myself to the front. I am hitting the trigger to speed it up sooner. So effectively what I'm doing, now I'm going to wait till it speeds up. Now I'm going to pull back so I can elongate the part where it goes fast and then pull back up when it speeds back up. I'm elongating the parts where it moves fast, and I am shortening the parts where it moves slow. So it might seem like little things. If you just like screw around and say sit in the center of the screen, I tested it throughout the entire thing, you lose a solid like 9 seconds in the course of that 45-second auto scroller.
That's a lot for an auto scroller.
Yeah, it's.
I'm thinking like Tropical Freeze. It's like 4 seconds or something like that. So that's.
It's pretty nutso how much time that really does save. I remember people, the Rayman community has grown a lot over particularly the last few years. European runners have come in and revolutionized this game from when I had world record at like an hour 42. Now best times are down to like an hour 22. So they've improved like 20% of that run's been cut off. Oh, also, if you want to watch the taunt. It's adorable. It's completely useless, though. So this is Terezan. Cute. And now instead our action button is changed to planting the earth, creating these lovely pieces of flowers. And now we can climb this next auto-scroller. This, unfortunately, with this auto-scroller, there's no real way to speed it up other than just getting to the ending on the first possible frame. I'll go ahead and kick it over to Ghoul if you want to once again remind people what we're raising money for here today.
Right. Again, we are here for a cause. We are raising money directly for Cook's Children's. We're using Extra Life as a platform to do that. Every single penny you guys get goes directly to the charity, so it's a fantastic cause. I've talked to them quite a bit myself. They do great work in the Dallas area, so yeah, I would, our goal right now is $2,000. It's kind of modest, but it's enough to make a difference. I think that's what everybody's goal is here right now, is to make a difference. So, yeah, if you leave a comment. We will try to read it on the air when we get a chance.
So this ends up being like the first actually difficult screen of the run for sure. Right there, you're supposed to knock all those plums down and knock them on the heads of those hunter dudes. But instead, you can just land right in front of them. And then I'm going to throw my fist there. Your fist basically becomes a boomerang throughout the game, where if you throw it and then crouch, it will then come back towards you at that angle. So as you can see, I'm using that technique all over the place to manipulate being able to hit things that are at rough angles. I then can maybe catch this cycle. This one's kind of tough. No, okay, that's fine. Just a few seconds lost right there. Other than that, that was actually a pretty good first, like, real difficult screen of the level. Of the game, I should say. Here, jumping as you climb up the vines is faster than just climbing it regularly. It's very slow. What's nice about this game is there's very little RNG or effectively randomness in the game. This is effectively RNG, though. It's really hard to control exactly how plums are going to react on the slopes as they fall down. So you just kind of throw it and then throw your fist backwards and just hope for the best as you're trying to continually hit it and try to pull it down at the right angle. Oh, whoops. That's fine. I was worried there for a second I was just going to die because you drop like a stone at that point. But there was enough distance there where I was still able to grab the vine.
The cool thing about those little bouncy balls like that is that you can get ridiculous amounts of speed. This is actually one of the coolest tasks in existence. They're working on it right now, and every level is just full of crazy speed tricks. So
yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what a TAS is, it stands for a tool-assisted speedrun. So what we do are just regular speedruns, obviously. Tool-assisted speedruns is able to use, through the use of emulators, you're able to get a lot of like frame advances, able to slow it down. Make sure you basically get the perfect input on every possible frame throughout the game. Creating things that humans are just, for the most part, not capable of doing. And so yeah, there's actually lots of crazy, crazy tricks you can do in this game with the plums, where you can just like go across entire levels on the plum. All right, so let's see if we can get this. This is actually a relatively tough trick. Oh, this is never gonna work. That's actually, it only saves a few seconds. I find that actually to be one of the tougher tricks in the run. All right. So once again, we're gonna throw these, hope for the best. Nope. So that's like the worst possible situation. That's okay, I'm gonna take a few damage boosts here. obviously, as implied by damage boost, I had to lose a little bit of health there, but it did save a little bit of time instead. That was just, there wasn't really much I could do about that. That's just unfortunate that it fell right in the water. All right, so right here I'm going to go for, it's a pretty precise trick. I've got a setup for it, though. It's called the one cycle. All right, so I'm basically just going to try to elongate how long I'm walking on these lily pads. All right, looks like we got it. All right, that's good. To explain a little bit about each of the fist power-ups in the game, the ones with, like, S's in front of them that aren't just pure gold, each one of those you collect will, like, there's 3 different lengths on your fist. I don't believe there's 4. I think there's only 3. There's only 3 that are going to matter to that point, at least. And that just determines how long your fist will go for, how, like, the extension of each of them. Whereas there's also the gold fists, which normally means, I mean, well, it does just mean it doubles the power of your fist. However, that is effectively useless for the purpose of the run because, for whatever reason, any punch thrown in the air, which we'll just call jump punches, do double damage, thankfully for us.
So is it ever better to have less distance on your punches, or is it always optimal to have as long as possible?
You want it as long as possible. It actually does make certain tricks easier, but if you could just have the longer fist for the entire run, you would. But yeah, so the gold fist, I mean, there was one part earlier that I didn't explain and didn't matter where the gold fist technically saved frames. But yeah, for the most part, it just doesn't matter having it because we'll just, again, you'll see me all the time. I'll jump and I'll punch stuff. That, again, that's just going to double the damage. And pretty much everything in this game, particularly the cages, all have 2 health. So any jump punch will break them open. The lore of Rayman, we never really explained it. I believe they're 2 different mosquitoes. And this one, the guy who became your friend earlier, he's now being controlled by Bizd, the boss of this level. So now he's being forced to carry this gigantic evil plum towards you.
That's implying this game's story is meant to make sense.
It's, they're like, we were talking about it earlier. The Rayman series is a very charming series, but it's not consistent in any way. Every single individual Rayman game just decides, this is our, like it's way more confusing than the Zelda timeline. It just picks like, in this one, Rayman's happy-go-lucky. In this one, he's foul-mouthed. In this one, he's trying to, like, it's like a super dark, serious story where he's trying to save everybody in the world from these dark pirates. You know, it's whatever you want it to be. That's okay. Just play them all. They're fun. All right, so now we've got our first, like, major boss fight of the game here. And it's the same concept as our buddy we had to fight earlier, except you have to hit him 12 times. I want to hit him as close to the top center of the screen as I can on each hit. He does have a set pattern that I'm going to, you know, all of my movement throughout the screen, I'm making him drop these plums faster. And I know he's going to come from the bottom left side of the screen. I also want to make sure he comes on screen, though, because if you hit him while he's off screen, even though you can hit him, it takes him much longer to move to the top part of the screen. Now he's going to come down from the top. Now, instead, right here, I'm actually going to waste a hit. Also, Rayman's adorable. I'm actually going to just let him go by once, and then I'm going to hit him this time. Let him come on screen, because now the game thinks I should have hit him 7 times, not 6 total times by this point. So now what it does there, to make up for it because you are bad at the video game, he'll just come straight back down for that 8th hit. So as you can see, that's a much, much faster way to get him to that top middle part of the screen. Oh, whoops. It's okay, I'm an idiot. Trying to do commentary. All right, so that's 9. 10, I believe he comes from the left. Yeah, that's right. Again, let him come on screen, punch him. 11, he's going to come straight down. And 12, he's going to do the yellow, red, purple pattern again. Again, I stay on the far left side of the screen to try to drag him over to the center. And for here, I'm actually going to punch him as soon as his hitbox is active, because no matter what on the last hit, they will always just go straight up. They don't move to the top center. So that's good. We're through the forest. The run picks up a lot from here. Band land that we're going into. Like, I remember as a kid, Forest, the Dream Forest, or whatever the heck this world is called. I forget. I don't know. I don't know specifics. I always felt like I got through this part always like pretty easily, and then Bandland is where the game got disgustingly hard. So right here, I'm actually going to show you guys the technique that is going to become useful to us throughout the rest of the run. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Normally, this is what it looks like when you go across these rings. It's very slow. That is actually me holding left and right, which you think would give you a lot of speed. Instead, if you hold up or down, you get a ton of distance and a ton of speed off of the rings. That's a technique we're actually going to be using throughout the entire run. You would have thought at some point in the history of Rayman 1 people would have realized that. It was just a couple of years ago people found out if you do that, you get a gigantic speed boost. And you're going to see us use it one time in particular coming up in this next level right here, Bongo Hills. So this level is one of my favorite levels in the speedrun. There's tons of cool tricks and tech throughout it. Oh, I balked. That's okay. So right there, I'm not... Normally what the game wants you to do is it wants you to go all the way around. For some reason, if you just hold jump here, you just have extra height coming down from there, and you're able to catch that platform at the bottom. Also here, let's see if we can get... All right, very good. I actually went too good there. I actually had to wait a couple times on those mallets. Much rather be too good there. All right. So that's the first screen. There are 6 screens in this level, and all of them have some sort of a trick or speed tech to it. To the second one, there's a trick that's actually going to save me about 25 seconds if I hit it. It's because it saves a ton of backtracking getting to this cage coming up here. It's pretty precise, so I'm going to see if we can hit it. I need to take a damage boost in a very specific way. Nope. Okay, we're gonna have to try for it. Second try. That's okay. What my setup is for it is I try to grab the ledge, and then that drops me down at a very specific spot. For whatever reason, I just didn't grab the ledge, so it threw me down at a wrong angle. It's okay. I got a second try coming. I hit that first try in SGDQ, so it's got to even out.
Yeah, you got time for a quick donation, Spike?
Sure. Just a second, and okay, we got it. We got the trick. Go for a donation.
All right. We got a $25 donation from Bill Rossi saying, "Speedruns. Good luck to Spike and all the other runners at this event." So,
Nice.
thank you very
so
much.
man. Hardest jump of the game. Okay, cool. That's like genuinely a really hard jump that they throw at you with like before you have the run power-up or anything. So the run power-up is the best power-up in this game, and they don't give it to you until 40 minutes into this run. It's the last technique you will learn.
Gotta learn how to walk before you can run, right?
I guess so. Thankfully in Rayman Origins, where they took the same concept where they strip you of all your powers, and then slowly you learn them throughout the run, they were like, all right, he's going to learn how to punch, but he better know how to run right from the start. So right up there, I actually took the checkpoint, which was this guy taking the photos of you. It's the first one we took because it's much faster just to death warp back up to the top than having to climb all the way back up. This is probably one of the crazier looking tricks throughout the run. Let's see if we can hit it. Nice. Okay. So yeah, that's okay. I'm just gonna throw this out there. That is one of the easiest tricks in this entire run, as crazy as it looks. Like literally anyone in this room, any of you watching at home, I guarantee you if I just showed you a little video on how to do it, you would get it like second or third try, easy peasy. Don't believe everything you see in speedrunning. Sometimes it's the most mundane stuff that's actually the hardest, and the crazy looking stuff is just like, yeah, just jump at a wall. You got like a full second to do it. You're fine. Oh.
Seems like a recurring theme in this game.
Yep, the hard stuff is actually the really easy-looking stuff. All right, so that is a gigantic sequence break, as mundane as that looks. And that's not very difficult, honestly, either. After we found, it used to be this, like, triple frame perfect setup where you had to double damage boost off of different things. The lightning, you had to bait the lightning over. It was really crazy. Let me make sure I hit these real quick. These are actually... Oh, okay. Those are actually pretty tight. And if you hit them, you got a good chance of dying there. But after we found what we now call Fruit Loop boosting, where you just hold up or down as you're coming off of those rings at a very specific angle, then you will instead just gain a ton of speed and a ton of distance. normally, like, if you come here even with just the bare minimum number of power-ups, you can get everything in this level through other sequence breaks except for that one. All the other cages, meaning I don't have to replay this level, and it saves me having to play the entire level again, which takes like 3 minutes later on with the run ability, when you're normally supposed to be able to get over there with enough momentum. However, with Fruit Loop boosting, as I said, we can do this whole level in one go, saves 3 minutes, it's beautiful, and it's pretty simple to do as well. Right there, you also saw me do another sequence break where by just jumping off the very top of those bongos as they start moving, you can get over to the left side. Once again, I can't get back normally, so I had to take a Death Abuse to get back over. From here, we're just going to be riding this guy along.
This game is super adorable still.
Yeah, the art style and the music of this game like still hold up to today. It's just really pretty 2D art style that still holds up over most PlayStation 1 games, which unfortunately did not age very well, at least in the visual department. PS1 is still one of my favorite consoles of all time, just as a library. All right, so we got one more cage to get here. There's one more trick right here. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, I hit that from as far away as possible because I didn't want to spawn other things around me that would have made it harder to get back. All right, and just let these guys go by because this is on a set timer it's on a set camera cycle once you get on screen. All right, that's the second to last screen. We have all 6 cages. Now we just need to get through this last one. For whatever reason in this game, every bit of damage that you take, every different thing that hits you gives you a different amount of iframes. So right there, I actually got hit by the hammer itself. Oh, wow, that was weird RNG. I got hit by the hammer itself, which gave me a ton of iframes. If I had just, like, walked into this dude's body, like his feet, you literally get, like, 2 iframes, and then you can't move through them, and you'll just get meat grinded to death. So you actually have to be careful about what you take damage off of in this game. All right, so good Bongo Hills. Unfortunately, we had the death earlier when I messed up the setup, but that's fine. So here's another one of my favorite levels in the run. The ice physics in this game are extremely violent. So I'm going to be trying to hit as many downslopes as I can in order to speed myself up. Doing a bad job of it right now. You've also got recoil boosting, which as you can see is also violent. All right. Go ahead and read that donation while I'm grabbing this cage.
Just 1 second. We have $15 from Deuceler. Shout out to Deuce.
What's up, Deuce?
He said, have a great weekend, everybody. So, Deuceler's a good buddy. He runs DeuceCon over in Austin. It's another speedrunning event in Texas. So, wish you could have been here, bud, for sure.
Unfortunately, we have to come back here. This is another place that effectively is random, just based off of how you jump off of these. Oh, all right, we're gonna have to go back through the screen now. You just have to hope you hit the right parts of the slope to gain enough speed in order to get up to this cage. It's honestly like this is maybe the most annoying cage in the entire game for me. Back down here. We also, as you die, you lose your fist power-ups. Let's see here. Can we still get this? I think we can. Yeah, there we go. So that was just, honestly, I like to take credit for that. I just got lucky that Rayman hit the right parts of the slope. Let's pull back here. All right. And now I'm going to try to perform a clip right here at the end of the screen. All right, nice. Got that at least. Yeah! All right. This next screen is also very difficult, and you'll see why coming up. I'm going to get blown by these trumpets across the screen, and they're going to get tinier as we go. Okay. Now I need to jump off the right part of the slope there. Didn't quite get there. That's fine. Lose a little bit of time from losing momentum. Now he's going to pull back. Okay, nice. That's actually really precise, jumping up there and hitting that cage, and then keeping your momentum coming all the way down. Okay, so that was overall, I'll gladly take that screen. Missed the momentum in the middle section, but that was it. All right. Now I'm actually, again, as I said, as you touch these kind of arbitrary invisible spots on the screen, you'll get these audio cues for something has spawned somewhere in the stage. They're not even necessarily close to you. But yeah, by jumping out there and grabbing that, I was able to spawn it without, like, knocking that platform down, saving myself a little bit of time waiting. All right. Coming up here, we got Tiny Rayman. By falling down at a specific angle there, I actually maintained momentum to carry me through that section, saving a few seconds right there. All right, so we got all our cages in this level. Now we just got to survive the rest of it. This was the level that... what's meanest about this game is that you have a limited number of continues. You have only 5 to work with. And this was the level that definitely took the most lives for me as a kid. And you see I'm using recoil boosting all over the place to just like skip over little sections and do sections faster. Normally what they want you to do is they want you to jump up on the top platform where I am right now, which spawns that cloud, and then I jump on the cloud, which spawns the exit point. But by jumping up to where the cloud's supposed to be, then I can just spawn the exit. So, unfortunately, because I died earlier, I'm only working with 3 health here. So, I need to be a little careful. Alright, we got over that. That's good. Now I need to pull back here, come over here, turn around, do another recoil. We're going to walk into our friend Mr. Sax here. And thankfully, on 1 health, that's a little nerve-wracking because sometimes I have actually died to him there. Or at least gotten hit another time. All right, so here we're getting our 4th power-up, the ability to hover. And you might think automatically that hovering would be a slow option for speedrunning. Hovering maintains whatever your momentum was going into it. So right here, hovering is not any slower than whether I was walking right there or like later in the run where I'm running. So it's just actually a good way to maintain your momentum as opposed to killing it. So there's 2 more levels in Bandland. I'm actually going to save those for later once I have the run ability, so I can get all the cages at once and just do the levels much faster with the run ability. Nice. All right, so I want to make sure, once you get to 100 tings, or the blue things, then I'm going to get a health refill as I go up in a life. So I'm trying to make sure I can get close to that 100 right here going into this screen. Also, you can start to see, like, there at the end of that screen, between Fruit Loop boosting, the hover ability, being able to grab the rings, I'm able to combine a lot of those techniques so that I can just go a lot faster throughout the game. Whoop. All right, so unfortunately, yeah, there's not going to be 2 more tings that are going to pop up here. So I'm going to have to bail out on 1 damage boost coming up, unfortunately. Another very mean aspect about this game, casually and from a speedrun standpoint, actually, can I make it? No, okay. Is that as you die, again, you lose your fist power-ups, you go down a level, and you lose all of your tings, or these little blue orbs that eventually build you up to 100 tings and getting you another life. So a lot of times, single deaths will actually effectively cost you like 2 lives. Nice. Okay. So right there, do we even have like a name for the technique of that? I think we call that tether boosting. It's been a little while since I played the game, so I'm trying to like remember the techniques as I go through them. But right there, what I did was, as you can see, I just missed the ring above it and then tried to then make Rayman's sprite go as far away from it as I could. We're also going to take another Death Abuse here because it's faster than walking back. And then, like, I made my Rayman go at as sharp a diagonal as I could. So then, on the, like, swing back, it was as violent as possible, and I got a ton of speed off of it, as long as I timed when I let go as good as possible. For whatever reason, in this screen, there's actually 2 exits, and we're going to take the faster one coming up right here. And with that, we're going to use tether boosting again. Nice. As you can see, skipping past like 4 rings I was supposed to grab right there. Or 4 Fruit Loops, as we lovingly call them. The PC version is actually very different. It changes some physics. Like, I know the ice physics are adjusted in every version. In the Jaguar version, for any of you who played that one, there's actually no ice physics. The PC version, they also made a lot of things a little bit easier. Like all those tiny platforms I was jumping on with the ice physics in the last level, they're all made gigantic. They're like 4 times the size. So you got that. What was the other things? They changed one screen in particular. The biggest thing is that they just changed... they changed placement of the cages in almost every version of this game. So even if you played the PlayStation 1 version and you think you know where all the cages are, no, they changed where all of them are. It almost feels intended from the start because there are lots of just wings of every level that you never go to. And in the PC version, it looks like they just make full usage of those. For whatever reason, you'll notice that I'm in these like kind of mini, like 5-second auto-scrollers within this level. I'm convinced, and a buddy of mine who learned a lot of the strats with me, Marsh Fighter Paladin, both of us are convinced that they just like, something broke like above or below the screens right there, and they were just like, ah, crap, I don't know what to do. Just make it an auto-scroller so they can't actually see above there. Maybe there's like something weird with like a level wrap or something.
Or like it's got to load something off to the side or something like that.
Again, Death Abuse is used all over this run, so you've actually got me at 3 health right now. Coming up here, right there, that is 2 health, and I wasn't supposed to grab it. That's fine. Just means I'm going to have to take a little bit more damage later on.
It's time for a quick donation?
Of course.
We have $15 from Cosmic the Dolphin.
Oh, what's up, Cosmic?
This is so awesome to see Ghoul, Spike, and all you Texas Speed friends having an awesome time watching so far. Good luck for an awesome weekend, because I know that I will enjoy watching. So thank you very much. As always, all these donations are going straight to Cook Children's in Dallas. It's a local children's hospital. They do some fantastic work. I had many people recommend them to me. So yeah, feel free to get those donations in, guys. Keep them coming. Thank you so much.
Shoutouts to Cosmic. Very good member of the speedrunning community. Oh. Another technique you're seeing me do right here. So these clouds used to be like the most infuriating part of the run. And I'm still back, but it's fine. By me hovering over them, for whatever reason, that maximizes the height I'm going to get off of each of them. So doing that just kind of effectively takes the randomness out of it. And then you see right there, once again, abusing the fact that the fist is effectively a boomerang. I threw the fist, then fell down, which actually hit the spawn point, spawning the cage, and then as the fist is coming back towards me, it blew up the cage. So, thankfully we got to, the way you can denote that you've done, and you got all 6 cages in the level, it denotes it right there on the world map. And if it's just one big pink happy smiley face, that represents that you have completed the level. Once again, in order for us to actually beat the game, you need to save all 102 cages worth of Electoons. And probably the #1 reason why nobody beat this game as a kid.
There aren't a lot of games that really require 100%. This is actually one of like very few I can think of.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some other example. Like Banjo-Kazooie requires most everything.
The only other one I could think of was Jet Force Gemini, which we're also having in the marathon.
We really like those sadistic collectathons in this one. I always draw the comparison in this screen to Donkey Kong Country 2, if any of you guys are familiar with like the Bramble levels in those games. Controlling squawks, like Bramble Scramble. Oh, that was such a dick place for him to spawn.
Looks like you're mashing a lot harder than you do for squawks, though. You don't get nearly as much vertical height.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to get Rayman to go anywhere. You see me punching everywhere because that's the best way for you to just fall instantly. I kind of went a little slow there. That's fine. Can we get through here? Nice. Nope, not nice. Yo, there's a one-up down here. Let's grab it. I'm going to do my best to make this a non-game over run at some point. You do have 5 continues, but it's genuinely hard in this game because, like I said, deaths take away your tings, which again are like your blue orbs or your coins effectively in this game, which builds you towards another life, and it just takes away a life itself. So many deaths in this game, which remember, I'm death abusing almost everywhere it feels like, will take away effectively 1.5 or even 2 lives. Also, the first time you play this level, or this screen right here, you die every time. Because you have no idea what the game wants you to do. You're just hovering down, you're getting closer to the water, and then you just die because it pushes you into it. For whatever reason, you need to cut that rope, and there's no explanation. They just threw you right into the water for, I guess, no pun intended. Another little trick I'm going to try to do here, once again, we're going to try to use the boomerang physics. Oh, let's try that again. Nice. Okay. Also, Rayman is still very excited. All right, so one auto-scroller down, another one to jump into. Thankfully, the second half of the game has basically no auto-scrolling. So we're just getting all the bad ones out of the way here. The only thing super interesting about this screen is making sure you get those damage boosts that I used earlier. You know, one more coming up here. You basically are just jumping up into this vertical indenture on the cliff right here, right there, and then it'll just clip you right through, starting the auto scroller as soon as you can. Yo, I let the Dark Toon live. Although he'll drown. And thankfully at the end of this level, we're finally going to get our run ability. And again, anytime you guys see me hover, it's not a bad thing. The only thing that actually will cost time is like just your final descent out of a hover. So a lot of times what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to land smoothly on the ground out of your hover. So right here, again, we're going to work with the ice physics and recoil boosting. We're going to hover because that's going to just maintain our momentum even further, carrying us very far throughout that entire section. Going to use it again coming up right here.
I just wish this entire game had ice physics.
Yeah, it'd be actually an amazing speed game. Let's go ahead and get that life up right there. Go ahead and grab the ledge just so we can fall down instantly. Once again, I'm going to hover right over this just to get good height off of it. I'm actually going to take a save right here because I just learned a new strat here. All right, that's a much cleaner, faster way to do that section. Otherwise, because again, everything spawns based on random spots that you just touch throughout the screen. And hover here, maintaining the momentum off of those ice physics. And if I did that a different way, I would have spawned rocks on top of the platforms that I ended up grabbing. Turn around. Didn't do that quite right because I didn't build up momentum. That's fine. Let's go ahead and grab this life as well. I'm going to grab lives that are right in front of me just to try to keep away. Because dying itself, obviously, we're intending on dying in a lot of places. But if you game over, then that costs a little bit more time if you have to use a continue. Oh, I actually was not supposed to grab that power up. So that'll make things a little dicier here. This used to be the most boring part of the entire run. But now, it's actually become one of the most interesting. Because there are all sorts of trick shots we can do on this guy. All right. Now we're going to position ourselves over here. He's going to bring down a rock. And then I was able to time my jump to actually jump off of that boulder and then hit him as he lands on the ground. It's very important that you hit him when he's on the ground and not in the air. Otherwise, you effectively soft lock your game. Because you hit him and he actually wraps around the screen and he takes like 3 minutes to die.
We'll be here for a while if you do that, so please don't.
We'll just avoid that.
I remember at FGDQ, this was the one fight that you're like, you are going to be talking during this and not me.
Okay. I actually screwed up one hit earlier, but that's fine. He gives you an instant cycle right there, so a missed hit there only costs like 5 seconds. Unfortunately, because I grabbed that power-up too early at the beginning of the fight, also, this is awesome. Everyone should have that GIF on their computer. I'm going to have to take it a little safe coming up here. I'm going to have to actually defeat a rock enemy coming up in the next level. I'm actually wondering... maybe I should go straight to World 1? Maybe doing that backwards would actually be faster. Because then I could do the damage boost at that point. I would be taking a death. Hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do routing on the fly. So we're actually just going to save that level for later, and we're actually going to come back to World 1. So now we have all of our abilities, including the beloved run ability. So now we got to come back and get all these cages that we skipped that we couldn't get to earlier, or that were just too slow to grab earlier without the run ability.
Got time for a quick donation?
Of course.
We have $5 from Wandering Mind saying, Wandering Mind here. I don't have much to donate, but I'm glad to see Race to the Finish being a thing and that it's going to a good cause. Here's to a fun weekend. So thank you very much for that generous donation. A good friend of mine, also part of my little group called the Zillia Crew. So thank you very much.
You'll see constantly I try to throw my punches right before I hit the ground. I have learned I think I've learned 2.5 new strats from this past week. I had taken a hiatus from this game since we did the math is hard. The 20-year anniversary for this game, the race last September. I'm the kind of speedrunner, I always move back and forth, but I love learning new speed games constantly. So yeah, coming back to it there, the world record has been improved by about 2 minutes since the last time I was running it. And yeah, they've started to develop a lot of new strategies. I haven't had time to learn all of them. But, yeah, did I show one already? Yeah, I showed one already earlier. The different recoil. All right, let's see if we can hit this. This is actually... Yo, I actually hit it. All right, now we're actually just going to let myself stand up because that's going to boost me backwards. Oh, unfortunately. Oh, get out of here. It's really easy to just eat your momentum as you're turning around. Like, it's hard to, like, get better momentum as you're turning around in this game midair. But that's okay. That's okay. I hit the precise thing. So now coming up here is legit one of the hardest tricks in the entire game. This is called Plum Skip. Let's see if we get it or not. It's, it kind of, I don't know. It'll explain itself. Okay, that's not going to do it. So send that plum away. That's okay to miss it once. It basically doesn't cost time because you have to get this cage later anyways. But now attempt number 2. This is the one that counts. Okay. Ooh, okay,
oh my God.
Okay, effectively first try. We will take that every day of the week. Now we need to go ahead and take damage, because again, we're going to need a death abuse. That saves like 50 seconds is what that trick just saved. It's a very complicated setup where I actually need to jump up and to the left of that plum, then punch it to the left, stand at a very specific spot. Actually, let's go ahead and go take care of this one now. Knocking it down, punching it at a very specific distance to where I can then run and then jump off of it at a very specific spot and grab those vines. All right. So normally you would come here and do this level right after you get the run ability. This is the first level you'd come back to and clean up the cages on. However, I only had 1 health, so I couldn't have done that damage boost. And that damage boost probably saves about 5 seconds, honestly, because then you would have had to kill that enemy back there. So I like to just come here earlier. Sometimes you can get over that guy. That's fine. Drop down here. Come over here because I need to spawn those clouds. This is another really precise jump. This is the most stupidly precise jump in the game. That's not going to get it. No, that is wrong. I should not have got that. Okay, maybe it's not precise. I'm lying to you guys. It's whatever. It's fine.
I love how, like, at SGDQ, me and Hobbs tried for ages to get that one jump, and we could not get it.
It's like, it is literally like a 2-pixel wide gap that you can jump from. And that's just the intended way to get there. Like, you'd think watching this, that was like a sequence break. That's a trick in the game. You're supposed to spawn like another ring right there. And they make you think that because in the PC version of this game, as we talked about, they made it easier. Oh, okay, we're not dead. They actually put another ring there for you because they were like, oh, that was too hard. We can only assume that the game dev for it, like, put it there, play tested it once, got it, and then they were like, all right, it looks fine.
Yeah, it was easy. No big deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the first thing that comes to mind for something like that is Bashi had a jump like that where they tested it one time, you got it first try. Oh, yeah, sure. And it's actually, like, pixel perfect.
Didn't know. Yeah. True story from Bashi, by the way. We're only speculating here, but yeah, the fact that the PC version, it does that later in the game as well. There's another jump where just like they could not have expected the player to get it without some sort of trick. And then in the PC version, they were like, let's throw another one in there.
So are there people that run the PC version, or is it pretty much exclusively PlayStation?
I know the community, we almost all run the PlayStation version. The PlayStation version is just the fastest version of the game, and it's the version that most people know. But we do have runners that have run the PC version. I think world record for it is maybe like 7 or 8 minutes slower, but it's far less optimized. I'm sure if you actually worked at it, you could probably beat the game in... Sorry. You could probably beat the game like maybe 3 or 4 minutes slower. One gigantic advantage that the PC version does have is that you never have to fight Mr. Scops. It's a theme that we'll talk about coming up here in the next level.
Loving these speedrun noises, by the way. They're rather fabulous.
I need to get 4 more emotes. I got enough subs for it last month during the month of Mushrooms and Master Swords. One of them's definitely going to be a raptor of some sort. I don't know, what does that sound like? Does that sound like a raptor, or does it sound like something different? I don't know. It's got its own unique flair, I guess. That is the last auto-scroller of the game, so we are thankfully clear of those. All right. So this is the final level of Bandland. This is Mr. Sax's Hullabaloo. Normally, this is where we're going to be fighting Mr. Sax afterwards. However, we're not going to do that. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Let's see. Oh, cool. We grabbed that. It's actually kind of hard to grab that. This is another one of my favorite levels in the run, just because, once again, you're seeing all your different pieces of movement coming along to make, honestly, some pretty fluid movement in a game that should not have fluid movement. Again, throw your punch right before you hit the ground there, because then it counts as an air punch. All right. I actually want to avoid this checkpoint right here, because I want to make sure when I die later, I'm going to go all the way back. All right, let's see if we can get this. Nice. Okay. We got that first try over SGDQ. It's all right. SGDQ run can suck it. All right, turn around again. Recoil. Like Ghoul said, if this game was just all ice physics, this would be the sexiest speedrun of all time. And if we could actually control the damn plums. All right. So we're Tiny Rayman. Thankfully, we're almost done being Tiny Rayman. A lot of optimizing this game came down to minimizing how often we had to be Tiny Rayman. All right, so this clip's stupid. Let's see how long it'll take me to get it. Basically just going at these different angles until Rayman luckily clips through. I just learned this trick like 2 nights ago, and there's nothing to it. You just go until you get lucky. Unfortunately, if you don't get it within the first 2 paths, then you are pretty much breaking even with not doing it. But it's a clip, so we're going to do it. Oh, there it is.
Hey, there we go.
Unfortunately, I clipped at a bad spot. Okay, we got out of it at least, and there's health coming up as long as I don't get bodied by something. That guy is the best offensive lineman in this game. So by throwing that punch, I manipulated him in a proper way to where I didn't have to kill him. Right there, normally I wouldn't grab that health, but because I fell down at like the worst spot in that clip, I needed the health. You want to be really careful there because you can bonk the ceiling of that symbol enemy really easily and then just fall to your doom. You don't get that 6 cage and you go all the way back up to the start. So normally that's the exit right there. I'm going to go on and fight Mr. Sax, but I don't care. I'm just leaving. The game does not check. The game does not care that you beat all the bosses. All it cares about is that you get all of the Electoon cages. So by doing that, Mr. Sax is a really slow boss fight, and there's an auto-scroller involved with him right before you actually fight him. So it's like probably a solid like 3.5 minute time save not having to go fight him. Make sure I take the damage there so I can then get the run off the flat part of the slope there. Once again, we're taking death abuse here. Now, right here, this might seem a little odd. I'm actually going to exit the screen and then come back into the level. There's a weird mechanic in this game where if you'll look back up, I now am back to having, I'm back to having 8 tings. I'm disgusting, I'm sorry. I'm back to having 8 tings, the little blue orbs, and I have I have my fist power-ups back, which I want for a rather large skip coming up here pretty soon. Also, this is debatably the hardest just overall screen in the game.
A lot of like very, very low ceilings on jumps.
And when you make contact with a ceiling, you lose all your momentum. So you might think you're good to go on a jump, and then you just fall straight down like a rock. Oh, I hit the ceiling there. That's going to cost me that. It's only like a 3-second time loss, but you can see how easy it is to bonk the ceiling right there. Once again, you can see how it was like genuinely really difficult to beat this game as a kid when you didn't know where all the cages were. Because it's like I had to go all the way up and to the right to spawn the cage and then come all the way back around after clearing those pencils, which you did not want to have to go back through.
People actually beat this game as a kid?
Yeah, I didn't beat it until I was an adult. Yo, that's actually a really precise trick as well. I'm hitting all the like actually really precise stuff that just looks dumb. But I'm not doing the mundane stuff. Alright. Tiny Rayman movement is impossible, by the way. Oh, wow, we made it. Okay, that's actually a really hard cycle to make as well. Okay, this has been a good level so far. We got that as well. Alright, clear that pencil. Oh. But once again, I don't hit the easy stuff. That's fine. Speedrunning is fun. Do it. It's frustrating as hell. Always punch that yin-yang ball. All right, so here is the big trick that will save us 25 seconds and why it was worth it for us to exit the level and come back in with max fist power. Unfortunately, it's completely random if I'm going to get it or not. Okay.
There we go.
Second try, we'll take that. I think SGDQ got it first try. Whatever. It's basically just like, I don't know if it's like oscillation of the fist, if it's just like sub-pixel perfect crap in general. But yeah. Without the best fist power-up, it would not have reached that cage, and you have to go through the very, very tedious process of spawning it and then getting back to it. Low-hanging spikes above trampoline platforms. Good stuff. Oh. Okay. Up here. Spawn that cage. So we're done with cages now. Unfortunately, to get through the rest of the screen, we have to, for the final time in the game, we have to be Tiny Rayman. It's most optimal for me to take a damage boost back there. However, I hold on to it for another damage boost coming up here. I use it right there. I basically just always try to optimize, not optimize, but minimize how much I have to be Tiny Rayman for. What? Get out of here, Yin Yang Ball. All right.
What were they thinking when they designed that? We're just going to throw a bunch of these little spiky yin yang balls, and you're just going to punch all 17 of them out of the way.
While you're getting shot out by lightning. By the way, everything in this game has eyeballs. The wall of the erasers literally has eyeballs. All right, so here we've got another interesting boss fight. It is possible to soft lock the game here. I'm going to play it safe because I haven't played this game a lot recently, and I'd rather not soft lock the game. I'd rather you guys get to see the ending of it. It's only going to cost us like 10 seconds, so it's not a big deal.
Please don't soft lock the game.
Yeah, I'm not. I actually did go YOLO at SGDQ because I was much more practiced in the game, so I felt more definite that I was not going to soft lock. But yeah. Oh, this guy is like the worst part of RNG in the game. His bomb spray patterns can be really, really bad. It can just cover the entire floor, and you have no choice but to take damage. So what you normally do here in the speedrun when you're going for everything is I'm going to be taking 3 damage boosts. I'm only going to take 2 here because, again, I don't want to soft lock the game. But for whatever reason, if you run up into her while she's all the way up in the air, you get pulled up to her level. And if I'm holding the punch button, it will always punch her in the face. Her vulnerability starts as soon as her sprite stops moving and hits the top of the screen. So you kind of time it for once she hits that point. So again, this is another boss fight, just like Mr. Stone earlier. Normally this boss fight is supposed to take forever. Like, it's a long time in between phases where you can actually hit her in an intended way. But now we're already here. She's down to 1 health. So to kind of explain what going for the soft lock strat would be, is you need all 4 of these knives to be off screen before she is off screen. So you have to delay yourself for when you're going to go up and take the damage and punch her. I'm just going to let her shoot out these other knives, take the like 10-second time loss, and we're just going to kill her. Very safe. We're going to get to finish the game as long as I'm not too terrible at it and game over.
A bunch.
So, yeah, a bunch. We're good. We're good.
We still got those 3 continues, thankfully.
Yeah, we have 5 continues.
Oh.
I have to die a lot. Like, it really is a lot. But the thing about this game is, like, when you game over, you only come back each continue with 3 lives. So it actually is faster than you would think to meat grind through your lives. All right. Ooh, nice. Good angle. Going to go ahead and take the death abuse here. Oh. There we go. It's a little precise jump. Ink giving us more delicious ice physics. Alright, good. We actually got through there without getting hit by the hunter. Can be very clunky moving through these little areas with all the different angles as that's okay. If you're gonna screw up the part without the hunter.
If you're gonna screw it up, make sure to make the raptor sound once or twice.
Ooh, it actually fit right there. Alright, sick. Alright. Over here. This guy always likes to get right on your tail. Once again, shout-outs to the music in this game. Whoops. Alright, fine. I just wanted the health, sure. No, I didn't. It's fine. Alright, once again, we're going to use a Fruit Loop boost here to go over this entire section. Normally, you drop down from there, and you spawn, like, literally, like, 20 of those rings that you have to swing off of. We don't want to do that, so we just skip that entire section.
For Fruit Loop boosting, did you have to do that entire thing?
Yes. Yeah, this game was much worse. If you go back and watch like my old like 142 record, all the stupid crap you had to do. Let's go ahead and drop down here. Rayman's hitbox is tiny, in fact. And once again, we're going to start clipping into this wall and remind you guys that Rayman's hitbox is tiny.
It's tiny, but oh so big when you don't want it to be.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so once in my life, I have seen those pencils spawn in a completely bizarre way to where instead of them, you know, moving up and down in a similar pattern away from each other, they spawn into each other. So it actually, you cannot pass it. You just die. I don't know what caused it, but yeah, that would be terrible to be on like a really good run there and then just have to die there. This is my favorite track in the game. If you wanted to not take damage from that guy, you would have to wait for like 20 seconds for him to come back. So we just still like to move through him and take the damage. Thankfully, it's not a very violent animation you get from it that wastes a lot of time because you're in your crawling animation and there's nowhere to go. All right. And after you went through that entire screen right there with all the bouncy platforms going up into the spikes, they have the nerve to spawn a cage right as you are about to run into the exit. And you're going to miss it the first time every time. You have to play through the entire level. It's fun. And right here, I'm going to miss this trick real quick. This trick's literally impossible. Yep. All right, cool. 2 for 2 on missing that trick along with SGDQ. I've maybe executed that trick like 10 times total. It gets you down to that cage about maybe 8 seconds faster. It's just deadening yourself at a very specific spot on the screen. I want to be walking off this ink platform because that will actually set you up perfectly here. Spawn this, fall down here. Got to come back and get one more cage. And then we can finish up Pencil Pentathlon. It's definitely agreed upon by most everyone in the Rayman 1 speedrunning community that World 4 or Picture City is the hardest world to execute in the speedrun. Alright. Screw that last part up just a little bit. If you jump a little later than I did, I could have swooped under all of those platforms right there and just went straight to the end. A little time loss, though. That's fine. All right. Time for the final level of Picture City, Space Mama's Crater. And they're nice enough to award us with the good music again. Not that there's bad music in this game. There's just better music. Using proper Fruit Loop boosting all over the place. Alright, good. We got over that eraser. We're not going to get over this one. That's fine. That one's extremely tight. I actually don't know if you can, now that I'm saying it. If I don't execute something properly in the row, I'm just going to say, yeah, it's actually impossible. There's no way. Alright, coming up here is another very precise trick. Precise enough to where I had too much momentum coming off of the inky platform. Alright, let's try this again. Nice, okay. Well, we got it first try that we actually got a shot at it. Don't pay attention to the fact that I fell down once. And once again, the devs are mean. Hey, look, the exit. Oh, wait, there was the cage I just walked past. Sick. I have to play back through the level to get it. All right, so this is actually the hardest trick in the game. I'm probably going to miss it. It's called Stormer Skip. Let's see what happens. Saves about 9 seconds if you get it. we're going to try it one more time. Oh, we hit it! Oh, okay. All right, I'm happy. I don't care. Doing it second try. Okay, doing it second try still probably saved like 5 seconds. Okay, I'm not good at that trick. We'll take it, whatever.
More ice physics?
I'm sorry. I know I squealed like a little girl there. That is legitimately, no joke, the hardest trick in the game. I don't even know if I can explain it very well because I'm so inconsistent at it. But yeah, you just make your tether just as long as you can, go in a very specific angle, and then just pray. Okay, cool. We hit the rest of the run. I don't care if this is a terrible run. It's actually a solid run.
So you've hit a lot of like tougher stuff so far, it seems like. So.
Yeah, we had the 2 unfortunate deaths like early on in the run in Bongo Hills. We had just like little slop here and there that's basically been evened out.
It's the PS2.
It's probably. Oh yeah. Oh, if I get world record, it's because of this PS2. All right, we're gonna do a little sequence break right here. Instead of going over to that terrible section to the left, we're just gonna jump at the very top of there. We're then gonna damage boost on here. So we skipped that whole first section of the level pretty quickly. Take a safety save there because that section's kind of balls. All right, we're going to spawn this guy. Once again, all you know is the audio cue. We're going to use the hover technique in order to get maximum distance, or height off of that cloud, I should say. Setting our timing up perfectly to get that cage. And this part's like particularly mean casually, and I'm certainly capable of dying here. Not done, though. Once again, they decided to put a cage backwards after you survived all that.
This game is just cruel. Like, there's no other word
You
for it.
described it really well at SGDQ. It's not so much that this game is, like, difficult to execute. Oh. It's just that it's incredibly unfair. Also, while we're here, let's go ahead and get set up to get to 100 teams on the next level. You also saw me use the technique there where by holding punch and jump, Rayman will automatically punch a ring and then let go of it immediately. So it actually like kept progressively moving Rayman up higher and higher. So I was able to gain effectively infinite height off of it. All right, hopefully Space Mama's not mean. I think she's far enough away. Yeah, okay. So they just found a new strat for this literally a week ago. I still need to learn it. I don't know how to do it, but it will save 15 seconds on this fight, which will be nice, where you can effectively get 2 hits per cycle on certain cycles. What I'm waiting for to punch her, I can actually hit her as she's coming down, but if you hit her as soon as possible, like before her sprite stops moving, or before you hear that, then she will still use that attack. By me hitting her at that point, it cancels the attack animation. So it saves a few seconds every single attack cycle. Also, this is a completely set pattern how this all works. So it's just, don't be stupid. Yeah, Space Mama, I probably... Oh, whoops.
What did you just say?
Space Mama, I said whoops.
I was going to say don't be stupid.
It's, you know, do as I say, don't, or something or other. I don't know. I guess that was the exact opposite of what I said. But yeah, Space Mama was probably the hardest fight for me the first time I played this game. For a long time, I thought this washing machine just had like a million health. It's just hitting it at certain spots. You can see its health denoted on the washing machine itself, like by what part of it is sparkling. So you actually want to hover right there and throw your punch as late as possible. And that's the fastest way you can actually hit her. Oh, her hitbox is also complete garbage. All right. 2 more hits. So this has been a proper non-double hit fight. Yeah, I look forward to actually learning the double hit strats. Also, this is the last hit was too hard, dude. It was too hard. All right, so Space Mama down. We got 1 full world left in the Cave of Scops. Which in a speedrun setting is also has a lot of very difficult stuff.
We have time for a quick donation?
Sure, go for it.
We have $5 from Daniel saying, cool to see the speedrun charity done so close to home. Good luck to all the runners. Thank you guys very much for that generous donation. Again, all donations are going directly to Cook's Children's Medical Center, which is a local children's hospital here in Dallas. So fantastic cause. I highly recommend donating. I have already done so myself, so please get those in. Thank you guys. Right back to Spike.
All right, nice. We were able to hit that trick right there. Just a pretty crazy looking tether boost right there, getting a lot of speed going backwards. Now I just need to not die on the rest of this level.
I love the music in this game. It's so good.
It's really cute. You know what? We're actually going to take a death. So I got all the cages on that screen. I'm going to try this one time. Oh, I took the checkpoint. Can we go backwards? We can maybe... Okay, I can totally go backwards. This is fine. This is fine. No, I took the checkpoint. Okay, well, none of that was worth it. It's fine. There's a crazy tether boost that you can do across that entire section. I forgot I took the checkpoint there. So that was just some time wasted. It's fine. If you follow me at twitch.tv/SpikeVegeta, I will occasionally do that. All right.
Surely you mean twitch.tv/IAteYourPie,
/I ate your pie. I know, I plugged the wrong stream. My bad. But you can do the tether boost that I did to go all the way like halfway across that screen, you can carry it all the way. Unfortunately, because we have to stop and get both of those cages, it's not useful in a speed run. But it is cool to see nonetheless. Just imagine what I did the first time, just going like 3 times the length. Let's see here. So we're actually gonna do that. Oh, the snipes! Okay, whatever. We got the cage. So that sends us back. Oh, me trying to show off back there is gonna cost like a minute because I was trying to. Because since I took the deaths, once again that took my fist power-ups. So hitting that cage, I was too far away to hit the cage. So instead, I spawned the rocks. And then that effectively just trapped me. Also, I don't know why that guy stayed there. What? We're going to take a safety save here. Let's try. This is a really hard damage boost. I will hit it like a boss and not screw up anything. All right, sick. So me jumping back out there was what spawned that top cloud platform that I'm on right now, as opposed to getting the cage, then riding that middle cloud all the way to it. I was able to just jump out there and hit the spawn point without it. So, this is going to be dicey with this terrible fist power-up I have right now. I have the level 1 fist. And this last section is pretty terrible. I'm going to try to tether boost to make it less terrible. Okay, cool. I pretty much had to do that with... No. Okay, well, it didn't send us back too far. Again, it's lovely that we found the number of things that we were able to find in this game in terms of speed tech. Because otherwise, like, stuff like the rings and the clouds are just, like, really poorly designed, in all honesty, beyond that. Alright, so let's try this again.
It makes you wonder, like, if that was the intended way of doing it with that, like, boosting stuff. Like, it's super cool. You almost like wish they intended that. But
right. Okay, we got one of our fist power-ups back. What can you do? We were talking about the demo earlier that actually shows a technique with using the fist as a boomerang. So it's like they obviously intended for you to use some of this stuff. I don't think Fruit Loop boosting was how they intended for you to do it, but yeah. In general, you just want to avoid those red rings because they will slowly descend and you'll just go to your doom. All right. This is the most unnecessary screen in all of video games. I guess it's explaining to you the plot. All I get is that this is... Oh, I thought someone, like, fell over there.
Is this me or am I getting, like, slightly hungry now?
Yo, shouts to Joe's Crab Shack. All right. So this screen, the light will follow your fist. Okay, that's fine. If you like my noises, you can follow me at twitch.tv/IAteYourPie. Okay. So it will always follow your fist. So kind of what you're intended to do is you move forward a little bit, you throw your fist, you move forward a little bit, you throw your fist until you get to the end of the screen. But we're going to try to use the power of memorization. Okay. I lost one of the cloud platforms in there, so I sort of freaked out, but that's okay. We got through the screen. It's really good for me to not die on that screen, because one, you don't want to look like an idiot, but two, so you can also keep Rayman as much health as you can going into this screen, because this screen can get pretty dicey. I wait there just to make sure those enemies that spawned are completely off the screen by the time I get over here. Otherwise, you would have to slow down. The boulders will catch up with you. Lots of terrible stuff. All right. Nice. All right, so coming up here is the other spot in the game where they were like, oh, this game is too hard. We need to throw in another ring. Oh, this is the wrong ring. This is fine. So, we are going to attempt to not be bad. And do that. Otherwise, that is literally a pixel-perfect jump that is just in the game. Otherwise, you cannot get up and get to this cage. Before we found tether boosting, it was awful getting runs up here and just seeing, all right, is this going to take me 30 or 50 attempts to get up there? And it's a completely just, that is the intended way to get up there. Not the way I did it, but without it. Let's go ahead and just wait for that cloud. You know, taking a lot of damage boosting all throughout this level, so you want to conserve your health as well as you can. Once again, you hear a spawn, but you assume it was the exit that spawned. It was both the exit and the cage. So I had to turn around there to get the cage before I moved to the exit that was right in front of me. Let's go ahead and take a damage boost here. Come to here, get past the bug. Now I'm actually going to jump over this pit so I don't spawn two other bug enemies right here.
Got time for a quick donation?
Of course.
We have a $15 donation from, I'm going to butcher this name, Rikelche. It says, hey Spike, nice in the Rayman run. Maybe pantsless next time. And 8-2 by the one, the only Ion who's playing the English version. Can't wait for Pink Monkey. So thank you very much.
Yeah, do you want to remind people just like, this is going to actually be a 3-day event that we are putting on for you guys. And this is the first run of the first day. Do you want to remind people what we got coming up here throughout day one?
Right, we got, coming up right after this, we'll have Ape Escape 2, and then we'll have our PC block, starting with Teslagrad by Frozen Truly. Then we'll have Eternal Daughter by Azurinel, and then we will end our PC block with Jet Set Radio. So pretty awesome set of games coming up for sure.
Alright, so we need to actually spawn these in the proper way. Otherwise, if they come down in the middle of your platform, you will be hit, and you will fall off, and you will die. So, yeah, that's just how it works. So it might seem like just like a chill little auto-scroll. You actually have to manipulate that in the proper way. I don't go for those last two because I'm a baby. There are spikes on the ceiling that if I hit, I will also die, in case anyone was confused. All right, so with that, Eat It Joe's. Eat It Joe's also is probably the hardest level casually in this game. Yeah, I remember it took me a long time. All the different screens are very, very mean, and finding the cages is also very hard. All right, last screen. Let's see if we can not death cycle here. All right, so he's going to push it twice and use a damage boost here right as it hits this point. Okay, that's a really tight jump. There was a cage back there. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, this is fine. We're making it work. All right. I'll jump over this one. We're actually going to duck under this catfish, take the damage boost. That screen was probably the most infuriating screen for me the first time I played this game. I was stuck on this screen for like 40 minutes. It sucked. All right, final normal stage of the game. We have our 6 final cages to collect here, and then we can move on and fight Mr. Dark. And this is where the PC version gets its big advantage, because just like Mr. Sax... Oh, wait. Let me just reset this spawn. Forgot I want to do this. That was the most awful speed of all time. Take away my speedrunner license. I messed up the timing of that terribly. Alright. Let's go ahead and take this because I never trust myself in this next section.
How much time does each save cost you usually?
I've actually never really looked into it. I would guess maybe that's like 2.5 seconds, something like that. All right, I wanted to punch that cage and then turn around. Oh, unfortunately, I turned around in literally the exact place where the hole is. All right, this is fine. I'm going to make this work. This is fine. I don't think I've ever actually done that before. Let's just take the rings at this point. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. All right. That's the last cage of the game. So now we just need to get to the end. But yeah, that's probably like, I don't know, 2 seconds each time you save. I am trying to make this work. Let's do this. So normally what PC gamers can do is they can get all 6 cages and then just die and exit out of the screen, just like we do for Mr. Sax, and you never have to fight this guy, saving yourself a couple of minutes in the PC version. For whatever reason, in the PlayStation 1 version, this is the only level in the game. I guess that and Eat It Joe's, now that I think about it. The last 2 levels are the only 2 levels in the game where there is not an exit sign on the first screen. So you can't just die and then go through the exit to go back out to the world map.
This boss is terrifying.
Yeah, this is actually a really scary boss. As you're trying to, like, position yourself for each of these. I mean, it's not that hard. It's just easy to choke when you're on a run this late in it. Also, I love the color palette of this boss. Someone said he looks like Rayman's, like, evil, angry uncle or something.
With a scorpion claw.
With a scorpion claw. I mean, it's not like Rayman makes a lot of biological sense himself. Alright. So now we just get the boss fight. The boss fight, there's no real speed tech to it, but it does just move really fast, thankfully. First time you do it, you're once again just going to die because the game developers don't tell you anything here. And this orb just comes out, it hits you, it's terrible. It follows your fist. So until you do just trial and error after a while and you've meat grinded through your limited lives in this limited lives and continues game, then you'll figure out, oh, it follows my fist. So again, we have all 102 cages, so after this guy's dead, we have one final level left, Mr. Dark's Dare. 3 little screens, and then a boss fight. And get hype, everyone, because coming up after this is Ion Graveray, one of the best speedrunners in the world, in my humble opinion, doing Ape Escape 2 for you guys. It's
Suck
a
up.
pretty sick speed game. Is he here?
Yeah, he's over there.
Yes, all right, nice. Suck up worked. I would have taken it back if he wasn't here yet. All right. So he has captured the fairy that I forgot the name of. It doesn't matter. Let's go save her.
Rayman plot.
Rayman plot. I don't know. Insert random collection of things you have to save in each game. All right, so this is a terrible, terrible screen, by the way. There's many times where I thought I soft locked here because your spoon you're riding on will just stop. All right. Also, I need to start slowing down about right here, I believe. Yep. Okay, cool. Because you can obviously fall in a pit and die, but where you're almost always going to die is you're going to be going full speed and you'll go straight into that ooze. So I'm glad to be through that screen. Second screen here, I'm being chased by Dark Rayman. This is, in my opinion, is what inspired Shadow Marios in the Galaxy games later on. He'll just repeat all your same movements. I fell in a very specific way there just so I could spawn those clouds later on.
By the way, we have an anonymous $15 donation, so thank you very much for that. Please keep those coming in. Again, this is all going straight towards Cook Children's, which is a fantastic cause, so thank you guys very much, everybody that has, and please continue to bring those in.
Jump all the way out over here to spawn that and to make sure Dark Rayman goes in a specific arc or through it. All right, one final screen. This is the last major trick of the run. It's called Clown Skip. To make it harder, what just happened there is our left and right controls are swapped. So let's see. This is a pretty big skip, actually. And we got a first try. Sick. All right. I actually was having trouble with that earlier when I was remembering it. So nice to get that first try. All right, so from here, we just need to not choke. Always jump from here. You'll always be caught by the cloud. And then hover into this. Because I don't trust myself on these slippery cake platforms, as you can see right there, and because my left and right controls are swapped, that's my last safety save of the run. Stop, deaden yourself right there because the clowns will start dropping bombs on you. And it's right there over the cloud that your left-right controls are swapped right back and forth. So over a pit. So yeah, maximum meanness from the game. All right.
This is a video game.
I'm actually going to just let this send me all the way down because it will automatically throw me into that one-up. What Mr. Dark cursed me with there is that I can't stop running. So that is by far the coolest curse in any speedrun ever. It's like, oh, all right, I have to go fast. All right, so here's the final boss. Normally they want you to jump at the fist, but if you just jump at Mr. Dark himself, that counts as the 3 jumps. All right. So you think, all right, we've reached the end of the game here. We're going to get this big, epic battle with Mr. Dark. Oh, baby. If you actually play the Game Boy Color version, you will fight Mr. Dark, by the way. So if you ever want to have that epic duel, try that out there. Unfortunately, in this version, we're just going to dodge some fire, dodge some energy blasts from him for here about 30 seconds. And then he's going to throw up some text. We're going to show how tiny Rayman's hitbox is. And then our Electoon buddies that we saved all of throughout the game, they're going to jump in, give us our fist power up. We're about to beat him up. And then he's like, yo, peace. Fight these guys instead. And you never fight Mr. Dark. All right. Normally, this is supposed to take 8 phases. I'm going to do it in 3. It actually is possible to do it in 2. I've never learned what the 4-hit single cycle is.
So if you haven't noticed, these bosses are kind of hilarious because they're like mashups of the previous bosses in the game.
Yeah, of the 5 main bosses that we have played and not played. Oh, I got a triple hit, dude. So each of those are frame perfect. So all of those are bonus whenever you get them. Oh, I got a triple. I'm so happy. All right. And time is time. Now. Whatever it is. I don't know. All right. So what's the time? Yo, we cut the estimate. All right. That's all that matters. All right. And after that Hard as Balls video game, here's your credits. Awesome. All right. So that's Rayman 1. The very satisfying credits after that video game. But, yeah, shout-outs to Ghoul for making this thing a thing. And let's get on to the next run. Because that was like 20 seconds under estimate. So thanks for watching, guys.
Yep. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and get that next game ready. We're going to get Ion over there and get ready to go. So chill out. And, yeah.